You are lying still, your breath slowing into an easy rhythm, your body sinking deeper into the softness of night. Around you, the world grows quiet, the noises of the day fading into gentle silence. In this calm, you begin to turn inward, toward a landscape that is always with you but rarely seen, your mind. It feels like an inner sky, a place of infinite space, shifting patterns and hidden light. Tonight, you will walk slowly into this space and discover it not as something fixed or rigid, but as a living tapestry, woven fresh with every thought you think, every memory you recall, every breath you take. Your brain is not a stone fortress. It is not a static machine. It is alive, responsive, flexible. Like threads woven on a loom, your neural connections interlace and separate, tighten and loosen, depending on what you experience. Scientists call this neuroplasticity, but you can think of it more gently as the art of weaving. With each passing moment, your thoughts are the shuttle, sliding back and forth, laying down fibers of experience. With every repetition, a thread strengthens. With every forgotten habit, a thread loosens. The fabric of your mind is never finished, always in motion, forever weaving itself anew. Close your eyes and imagine the tapestry itself. It is vast, stretching in every direction. Some threads shimmer brightly, glowing with the memories you revisit often. Your name, your language, the path to your home. Other threads are faint, fragile, like cobwebs touched only once, holding the fleeting memory of a face in a passing crowd or a word you once read but never used again. Together, these threads form patterns of thought, patterns of feeling, patterns of action. They are not permanent. They shift as you do. Your mind is not a single story, but a weaving in progress, alive under your gaze. Breathe gently. Feel the comfort in this truth. For many, the idea of a changing brain is unsettling, as if we are not fixed, as if identity might slip away. But the opposite is true. Your changing brain is your freedom, because it rewires. You are not trapped. You can learn, recover, adapt. You can reshape yourself at any age. The tapestry may grow worn, but new threads can always be woven in. You are both the weaver and the woven. Think back to childhood. In those years, the loom was swift, threads forming rapidly, patterns shifting daily. Every sound, every sight, every touch left a mark, laying down fibers of memory. Language came not through study, but through immersion, each word a thread stitched into place. Riding a bicycle, tying a knot, humming a tune, each was woven in, forming strong chords that held fast across years. Childhood is the season of quick weaving, where the brain is most plastic. Soft clay in the hands of experience. Now think of adulthood. The loom slows, the tapestry grows denser, but the weaving never stops. Every book you read, every song you hear, every skill you practice lays down new fibers. The process may be slower, but it is still alive. Imagine yourself learning to play an instrument as an adult. At first, the threads are thin and frayed, the notes awkward. But with repetition, the fibers tighten, the pathways strengthen. Soon, the music flows with ease. This is the living tapestry, adapting even now, shaping itself to your efforts. Pause here and let the comfort deepen. Your brain is not frozen in stone. It does not stop weaving. Even in age, when some threads wear thin, new ones can form. When a stroke damages part of the tapestry, other regions can weave around it, taking on roles they never held before. The loom is patient, resilient, forgiving. Breathe slowly. Picture neurons, the brain's tiny weavers. Each one extends branches called dendrites, reaching for connections. They touch, spark, and strengthen bonds with practice. They let go when bonds are unused. Like vines in a garden, they grow toward light, prune themselves in shade, always reshaping. This is the secret of neuroplasticity. The brain is not only organ, but garden, not only structure, but story. Now imagine the gentle fire of thought itself. Each time you think, neurons fire tiny bursts of electricity, passing messages across gaps called synapses. These sparks are like fireflies, glowing in dark fields, lighting pathways. When you repeat a thought or action, the fireflies gather more often along the same trail, making it brighter, easier to follow. When you neglect a thought, the trail fades, grass grows back, the pathway vanishes. Your brain lights up with constellations of fireflies, but the patterns shift nightly, like stars redrawn across the sky. Pause again and rest in this image. You are not stuck with old constellations. You can form new ones. You can reshape your inner sky. The tapestry of your mind is not merely woven by chance. It is woven by you, by your focus, by your choices, by your rhythms. You are never only passenger. You are also weaver. Think of healing. Imagine someone who loses the ability to speak after injury. At first, the threads of language seem torn, the pattern broken. But with time, with practice, with patience, other parts of the brain learn to take over. They weave new threads, restoring meaning, forming fresh pathways. This resilience is not miracle. It is the nature of the tapestry itself, always adapting, always weaving. Breathe gently. Let this truth soothe you. You are never fully broken. Even in silence, even in struggle, your mind seeks new patterns. It is a loom that does not stop. It weaves for you even while you sleep, reworking memories, strengthening threads, softening tangles. Each night, your dreams are part of the weaving, replaying the day, stitching experience into fabric. Sleep is not stillness. It is quiet labor, the loom working in moonlight. As you drift deeper, imagine your tapestry stretching into future. Threads not yet woven glow faintly, waiting. Each choice you make tomorrow will lay them down, shifting the design. The future is not fixed. It is fabric waiting to be woven. Your brain is not finished. It is becoming. Pause, hear, and let your body relax. The living tapestry is not only metaphor, it is reality. Every thought tonight shapes tomorrow's brain. Every repetition strengthens tomorrow's pattern. Even in stillness, you are weaving. Even in rest, you are changing. Now think gently of others. Every human carries their own tapestry, woven from experiences unique and shared. When you connect with someone, a smile, a conversation, a touch, your threads cross. The fabric of your brain is not isolated. It interlaces with others, weaving community, weaving society, weaving culture. Neuroplasticity is not only personal, it is collective. Humanity itself is a tapestry, rewoven by connection, reshaped by learning together. Breathe slowly and let this widen your comfort. You are part of something larger. Your brain changes with others. Their stories become your threads. Your experiences influence theirs. The living tapestry is not only inside you, it stretches between you and the world. As you rest now, let yourself be carried by this truth. You are never fixed, never finished. never trapped. Your mind is a river, flowing. Your mind is a garden, growing. Your mind is a tapestry, weaving. Each thought you have tonight becomes thread in tomorrow's fabric. Each dream you dream stitches the unseen into the seen. You are resting now, your breath slow and deep, the weight of the day lifting like mist in early morning light. You have met your mind as a living tapestry, a weaving that is never finished, threads that shift with each passing thought. But now you lean closer, as if holding the fabric in your hands, noticing how each thread is laid down, how every single thought, no matter how small, becomes part of the design. Tonight, you will journey into the truth that every thought is a thread, and that your experiences, moment by moment, shape the circuits of your brain. Close your eyes and picture a path in a forest. At first, it is only grass, soft and unbroken. You step once, and the blades spring back. You step again, and the marks linger a little longer. Step after step, the grass flattens, the soil hardens, the path becomes visible. This is how your thoughts move through your brain. Each time you think, neurons fire along a route. Once is nothing, twice leaves a trace. But repetition strengthens the trail, making it easier to follow. In time, the path becomes a road, and the road becomes a highway. Every thought you revisit carves itself deeper into the living tapestry of your mind. Breathe gently. Imagine neurons as trees lining that forest path. Their branches reach toward each other, stretching, searching. With each repeated step, the branches grow closer, weaving a canopy. Signals pass more easily, like light slipping through leaves. The forest itself reshapes around your footsteps. This is experience sculpting the brain. This is thought laying thread. Think of a child learning to speak. At first, the words are clumsy, scattered. Neurons spark in different places, connections uncertain. But with every sound repeated, every word spoken, the circuits grow stronger. The path deepens. Soon, language flows with ease, a stream running through the forest of the brain. Every sentence is a tapestry of countless threads, each laid down by experience, each strengthened by repetition. Pause here and let this soften you. You may believe thoughts are fleeting, disappearing into silence, but they are never lost. They leave impressions, subtle or strong. A single gentle thought may fade, but repeated thoughts become woven into the design of who you are. The stories you tell yourself, the habits you keep, the emotions you revisit, all are threads, shaping the circuits that guide your days. Now imagine water dripping onto stone. One drop does little, but thousands of drops carve channels, reshaping rock itself. Your thoughts are those drops. A single moment may seem too small to matter, but across time, repeated experiences carve your brain's structure. You are shaped not by one grand event alone, but by countless small ripples. Every thought is a drop, every drop a thread, every thread part of the tapestry. Breathe slowly. Think of learning a skill, perhaps playing piano. At first, each note feels foreign. Your hands stumble, your brain searches. Neurons fire uncertainly, threads thin and fragile. But practice repeats the pattern. With each attempt, signals travel faster, connections grow thicker, insulation strengthens. The circuits become smooth, effortless. Soon, music flows not from struggle but from habit, your tapestry shining with new patterns. What was once impossible becomes natural, woven into you through experience. And this is true not only for music, but for all things: language, movement, memory, even emotion. When you practice gratitude, your mind becomes quicker at finding good. When you repeat worry, your circuits learn to loop through fear. The tapestry itself does not judge. It weaves what you feed it. Your experience is the loom, and your attention the hand that guides the shuttle. Pause here and let the comfort sink in. You are not trapped by the patterns of yesterday. Just as circuits can be strengthened, they can be weakened too. Paths overgrown with neglect fade into forest again. Threads unwoven leave space for new fibers. What you repeat, you reinforce. What you release, you loosen. Each day offers a chance to choose which threads to strengthen, which to let dissolve. Now imagine neurons firing. Tiny sparks leap across synapses, bridges of chemistry and electricity. Each firing leaves a trace, a memory. When you think the same thought again, the sparks travel more easily, as if the bridge has been widened. This is called Hebbian, learning neurons that fire together, wire together. But here, you do not need the phrase. You can simply see it as weaving. Sparks lay threads. Threads make fabric. Fabric shapes mind. Breathe deeply. Think of your own experiences today. Each conversation, each gesture, each glance left threads. Some were light, forgotten already. Others linger, woven into your mood, your memory, your sense of self. Even as you sleep tonight, your brain will replay them, strengthening some, fading others, adjusting the fabric. Experience never ends. The loom never rests. Now drift into a gentler vision. Imagine your brain as a river delta. Streams branch and merge, carrying water across shifting sands. Each drop of rain alters the flow, carving channels, filling pools, leaving patterns behind. Experience is the rain. Each thought is a drop. Over time, the channels deepen, the river finds its way, but always it can change. Always it can branch anew. Pause once more. Feel the beauty of this. You are not a prisoner of fixed channels. You are a river, flowing, branching, reshaping. Your experiences do not only mark you, they move you, guide you, allow you to change course. Every thought is a choice, every repetition a direction, every circuit a thread. As you rest now, let yourself sense the freedom in this truth. If you wish to strengthen kindness, you can repeat it. If you wish to ease worry, you can let the path fade by stepping elsewhere. You are not only passenger on the river, you are also the rain that feeds it. You are not only the tapestry, you are also the weaver of threads. You are resting now, your breath slow and rhythmic, the night wrapping around you like a blanket of stillness. Already, you have begun to sense the tapestry of your mind, woven from threads of thought and experience. You have seen how each moment leaves its mark, how each thought becomes a thread. But now, you notice something deeper. When a thread is touched again and again, when a path is walked not once but many times, it grows stronger. It becomes echo, not fleeting, not fragile, but lasting. Tonight, you will drift into the power of repetition and feel how echoes in silence carve permanence in the circuits of your brain. Close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a canyon. You call out a word and your voice bounces back, softer at first, then fading. But if you keep calling, the canyon begins to fill with sound, the echoes overlapping, layering, strengthening. In time, the silence itself seems to hold the memory of your voice. This is what repetition does in your mind. Each thought, Each action, each practice sends echoes through the canyon of your brain. Alone, they may fade, but repeated, they carve themselves into the walls, leaving lasting patterns. Breathe gently. Imagine neurons as listeners in that canyon. Each time a signal passes, they take note. At first, the connection is weak, like a handshake between strangers. But with each repetition, the grip tightens, the bond strengthens, until the connection becomes natural, reliable, a friendship that endures. Scientists say, neurons that fire together, wire together. But here, you can think of it more softly. Thoughts that echo together, weave together. Now picture a musician practicing scales. The first notes stumble, uncertain. Fingers hesitate, mind struggles. But each repetition makes the pathway smoother. The neurons fire more quickly, more efficiently, until the music flows without effort. The same happens when you learn to write, to ride, to speak a new language. Repetition is the sculptor, chiseling rough stone into shape, turning awkward into natural, silence into song. Pause here and let this truth soothe you. You were not expected to master life in a single attempt. Your brain is patient, designed for echoes. It learns by returning, by repeating, by layering sound upon silence until the pattern holds. Even failure is not wasted. Every try lays another thread, another echo, another chance for permanence. Think of walking again through the forest. The first time, the path is faint. Grass rises quickly after your steps. But walk it every day, and soon the trail becomes clear, the earth packed, the way unmistakable. Repetition is footsteps through the forest of your mind. The more you tread, the stronger the trail. The less you use it, the more it fades back into wildness. Breathe slowly. You can feel this in your own life. A habit repeated becomes second nature. A thought revisited becomes belief. A worry rehearsed becomes anxiety. But equally, kindness practiced becomes compassion. Gratitude repeated becomes peace. Repetition shapes not only skills but self. Every echo carries weight. Now imagine water dripping on stone again. One drop leaves no mark, but steady drops, year after year, carve deep grooves, even through granite. Repetition is water. Your brain is stone. Slowly, gently, persistently, the drops carve new shapes, forming channels where none existed before. This is why practice matters. This is why patience matters. Change is not sudden. It is sculpted by echoes. Pause once more. Feel the rhythm in this. Your brain is not stubborn. It is rhythmic. It follows beats, patterns, cycles. Each repetition is a drumbeat, steady, patient, laying down the song of who you are. In time, the silence itself carries the rhythm, and you find yourself moving with it without effort. Think of sleep. Each night, as you dream, the echoes of the day are replayed. Circuits fire in patterns of repetition, rehearsing, strengthening. A skill practiced in waking is woven again in sleep, the echo deepening even in silence. Sleep itself is repetition's partner, stitching threads tighter, embedding echoes deeper. Now imagine resilience. Someone who struggles to speak after injury repeats simple words. At first, the sounds are broken, but through repetition, day after day, the circuits strengthen. Words return, meaning returns. This is the healing power of echoes. The brain remembers, not all at once, but through steady steps. Breathe deeply. Consider even your thoughts of self. Repeat to yourself that you are weak, and the echo grows strong, circuits wired to believe. Repeat to yourself that you are capable, and that echo to grow strong, shaping belief. Repetition builds identity. The stories you tell yourself most often are the ones your brain learns to recognize as true. Pause here and let this sink in. You are not bound to echoes of the past. You can choose new ones. By repeating kindness, gratitude, patience, you lay down threads that grow stronger with each return. By letting old echoes fade, you allow silence to wash away what no longer serves. Repetition is choice disguised as rhythm. Now drift into a vision of ripples on water. A stone dropped once makes waves that fade. Stones dropped again and again create a rhythm, a pattern, a dance of circles. Your thoughts are those stones. Each one shapes ripples. Each repeated stone makes the pattern stronger. Soon the lake itself carries the rhythm, echoing with permanence as you rest now. Imagine yourself whispering into your own mind. Each whisper is soft, almost nothing. But repeated, the whisper becomes song. The song becomes truth. The truth becomes thread in your tapestry. This is the power of repetition, echoes in silence, weaving who you are. You are resting now, your breath soft and rhythmic, your body sinking deeper into the comfort of night. Already, you have followed the threads of thought, seen how repetition strengthens them, how echoes carve permanence. Now you drift into another image, one gentler, more alive, your brain not as a tapestry or canyon, but as a garden. Tonight, you will wander into this garden of synapses, where thoughts grow like vines, where flowers of memory bloom and fade, where pruning clears the way for renewal. Close your eyes and picture it. Stretching before you is not soil or grass, but a luminous field, filled with branching trees of light. These are your neurons, each one sending out delicate branches called dendrites, reaching like roots and stems. At their tips, tiny buds glow softly synapses, the points where signals pass from one neuron to another. They are countless, more numerous than stars in the galaxy, woven together in living constellations. Breathe gently. Imagine walking among these trees. Some branches are thick and strong, heavy with blossoms of glowing connections. Others are thin, fragile, reaching out tentatively. Some blossoms fade and fall, leaving space for new ones to grow. The garden is alive, constantly changing, never still. This is your brain at every moment, pruning, growing, renewing. Think of childhood again. In those early years, the garden explodes with growth. Synapses sprout everywhere, billions of new connections forming each second. The brain of a child is lush, overgrown, like a spring meadow after rain. Every sound, every sight, every touch plants seeds. The child's brain does not know yet what will be important, so it grows everything. Lets every possibility bloom. Pause here and let this soothe you. You were once that meadow, overflowing with potential. Every path was possible, every blossom new. Neuroplasticity in childhood is a wild growth, abundance beyond measure. It is the fertile soil of learning, allowing languages to take root, skills to sprout, experiences to bloom into memory. Now drift forward in time. As you grow, the garden changes. It cannot remain overgrown forever. Slowly, the brain begins to prune, trimming back connections that are unused, clearing branches that are unnecessary. Just as a gardener trims a tree so its strongest limbs can flourish, so too does your brain let go of synapses that no longer serve. This pruning is not loss. It is refinement. It is how your brain shapes itself into clarity, strength, efficiency. Breathe slowly. Imagine pruning shears of light moving gently through your brain, snipping connections here, strengthening others there. A language you never practiced fades, its branches cut back. A habit you repeat every day grows stronger, its branches thickening. The garden becomes more orderly, more focused. This is how you became who you are, not only by what you grew, but also by what you let go. Think of adolescence. During those years, the pruning is intense, reshaping the brain into its adult form. Connections of childhood are trimmed, leaving behind only what is reinforced by experience. The garden becomes less wild, more cultivated. And yet, even in adulthood, the process continues. The brain always prunes, always renews. Old skills forgotten make room for new ones. Habits dropped clear space for growth. Your garden never stops tending itself. Pause again and let this truth comfort you. Forgetting is not always failure. It is pruning. It is the brain clearing away so new blossoms may bloom. Just as a gardener removes weeds so flowers may thrive, your mind lets go of what no longer matters, so what you need most can flourish. Now imagine growth itself. Each time you learn, each time you experience something new, branches sprout, buds glow, blossoms appear. Synapses strengthen, their signals firing more quickly, more easily. With practice, the blossoms cluster, filling branches with light. Growth and pruning happen side by side, one making room, the other filling it. Your brain is balance, not chaos. It is garden, not wilderness. Breathe deeply. Consider your own habits. When you choose to practice patience, branches of calm grow thicker. When you dwell on anger, branches of irritation bloom more readily. The garden reflects what you plant, what you water, what you return to daily. You cannot control every seed, but you can choose what to nurture, what to allow to wither. The gardener is within you. Now picture renewal. Even in age, when some branches grow brittle, the garden does not stop. New sprouts still appear, blossoms still grow. A new skill, a new language, a new friendship. Each plants seeds that can take root at any stage of life. The soil may change, but it is never barren. Renewal is always possible. Pause once more. Feel the beauty of this. Your brain is alive not only in youth, but always. Growth, pruning, renewal. They are endless cycles, seasons of the inner garden. Just as spring follows winter, your brain returns always to growth. Given the chance, as you rest now, imagine walking deeper into the garden. You see flowers glowing with memories you cherish, their light warm and steady. You see blossoms that fade, petals falling gently into silence, their purpose served. You see new buds forming, promises of skills you have yet to learn, paths you have yet to walk. The garden is vast, infinite, endlessly renewing itself. And you, both wanderer and gardener, walk within it. Breathe gently. Let yourself feel held by this truth. You are not fixed. You are not withering. You are not trapped. You are blooming, pruning, renewing, always. Your brain is not a machine rusting with time. It is a garden alive, responding to you, reshaping with you, growing toward your light. You are resting now, your breath calm and even, your body sinking deeper into the stillness of night. Already, you have walked through the garden of synapses, seen blossoms of memory bloom, felt branches pruned back to make space for growth. Now, as you drift further inward, you notice something smaller, something glowing, something alive with energy. Every thought you hold, every skill you practice, every word you whisper in your mind begins as a spark. Tonight you will journey into these sparks, the fires of learning that leap across neurons, stitching your brain into light. Close your eyes and imagine darkness, vast and silent. Suddenly, a tiny flicker appears, then another and another. Like fireflies in summer fields, they glow and fade, glow and fade. At first, they seem scattered, random, but then, with repetition, patterns form. The fireflies gather, lighting paths, tracing constellations across the inner sky. These sparks are your neurons, sending messages, weaving circuits of thought and memory. Each spark is small, but together they are the fires of learning. Breathe gently. Each neuron is a tiny cell, delicate and complex. Alone, it is only a whisper, but when it fires, it sends a pulse of electricity down its branch, carrying signal to the next cell. The gap between them is called a synapse, a space so small it is invisible, yet so powerful it shapes your every thought. At the synapse, chemicals called neurotransmitters leap like messengers, carrying sparks across the divide. Every time you think, this dance repeats. Sparks leap, messages flow, patterns strengthen. Imagine striking flint against stone. At first, the spark is weak, fleeting. Strike again, and a fire catches. This is how your brain learns. The first attempt may falter, the second stumble, but repetition fans the sparks, and soon a flame burns steady. Learning is not sudden blaze. It is steady fire, nurtured by sparks across neurons. Pause here and let this soothe you. You do not fail when you struggle. You are only striking flint, waiting for sparks to gather, for fire to grow. Every mistake is still a spark, every attempt still a flicker, every flicker still part of the fire. Now imagine a child learning to walk. Each step sends sparks leaping, signals firing from brain to muscle, back from muscle to brain. At first, the sparks misfire, legs wobble, balance tips, but with every fall, every rise, the sparks grow more coordinated, circuits strengthen. Soon, walking becomes natural, effortless, carried by fire that once was fragile. The child's neurons have woven sparks into steady flame. Breathe slowly. You too carry this fire. Every new skill you have ever learned, riding a bike, writing your name, remembering a song, began as sparks leaping uncertainly. With practice, the sparks grew stronger, their pathways easier. Soon, the skill felt as if it had always been there, but it was born from fire built patiently. Think of music again. A pianist's fingers dance across keys, each note guided by sparks. At first, the sparks flicker in scattered places, uncertain of where to land. But with repetition, the sparks align, firing in harmony. The music flows not from the hands alone, but from sparks weaving circuits across the brain, lighting pathways that echo in rhythm. Pause once more. Feel the beauty of this. Your brain is not lit once and left to glow. It is a field of fireflies, always moving, always sparking. Every thought is fire, every memory is spark. Every act of learning is flame catching in darkness. Now imagine a network of stars in the night sky. You see them shining individually, But when you trace lines between them, constellations form. Your neurons are like these stars. Each spark is a star's light, but learning is the constellation, the pattern formed by connections. Alone, the sparks are scattered. Together, they weave meaning, images, memory. Breathe deeply. Think of how you learned your first language. Each sound was a spark, each word another. Slowly, they connected, forming constellations of grammar, patterns of rhythm. Soon, the sparks were not random but songs, phrases flowing naturally. Learning is constellations of fire, scattered stars stitched into story. Now drift to healing again. After injury, the fire may seem dim, circuits disrupted, but new sparks can still leap, new paths form, new constellations emerge. The brain is resilient, always seeking to spark, always finding roots, always weaving fire into function. Even when paths are broken, sparks carve new trails. Pause here and let yourself rest in this truth. Your mind is never dark. Even in silence, sparks glow. Even in stillness, fireflies flicker. Even in sleep, neurons fire, replaying the day, weaving memories. The fires of learning never stop. As you sink deeper, imagine yourself as the keeper of this fire. You choose what to spark, which flames to fan, which patterns to light. A thought repeated becomes a flame. A skill practiced becomes steady fire. An emotion revisited becomes warmth or storm. You are not only receiver of sparks, but also their guide, their gardener of fire. Breathe gently. Fire can comfort or consume, depending on how it is tended. Your thoughts are sparks. With care, they grow into light that warms, skills that sustain, memories that soothe. With neglect, they fade. With imbalance, they may burn. But always, you hold the power to tend your inner fire. Now imagine yourself lying beneath a sky of fireflies. They glow above you, scattering light across fields of darkness. Some move in patterns, some flicker randomly, some cluster together. Slowly, they begin to synchronize, pulsing in rhythm, lighting the night as if breathing. This is your brain in harmony, sparks aligning, learning flowing, fire woven into rhythm. Pause once again. Feel the calm of this. Learning is not chaos. It is synchronization, sparks finding each other, circuits weaving light. Your brain is not clumsy machine, but symphony of fireflies. Guided by repetition, shaped by experience, alive with sparks as you drift now. Let yourself rest in the knowledge that you are always sparking, always learning, always weaving fire into meaning. Even tonight, as you sleep, the fireflies will flicker, replaying, strengthening, weaving the day into memory. You are resting now, your body heavy with calm, your breath long and unhurried. You have walked through sparks of learning, watched neurons fire like fireflies, seen constellations of thought weave themselves into meaning. But tonight, you move toward a gentler, deeper truth. The brain does not only learn in moments of ease, it also heals in moments of loss. Injury may strike, connections may break, memories may blur, but the currents of your brain continue to flow. They seek new paths, new bridges, new ways of being. Tonight, you will drift into these healing currents and feel how your mind rewires after darkness. Close your eyes and imagine a river winding through a valley. It flows strong and steady, carving channels into the land. But then, a landslide blocks the river's course. The water cannot pass as it once did. For a time, it pools, still and uncertain. Yet slowly, patiently, the current finds another way. It seeps into cracks, it carves new streams, it shapes new channels. This is what happens in your brain after injury. Where once signals flowed smoothly, the path may be blocked, but the current does not stop. It searches, finds, reshapes. Healing is the river's work. Breathe gently. Think of a stroke when blood fails to reach part of the brain. Neurons there may falter, their circuits silenced. At first, it feels like a loss too heavy to recover. Speech gone, movement stilled, memory blurred. But the brain is not frozen in grief. Other regions awaken, learning to take on new roles. Pathways reroute, like water carving fresh channels. With practice, with therapy, with time, the healing currents strengthen, restoring what seemed impossible. Now, imagine standing in a meadow after fire. At first, the land looks ruined, blackened soil, trees fallen. But beneath the surface, seeds wait. Slowly, green shoots rise, flowers bloom again. The brain, too, holds seeds of renewal. After injury, new synapses sprout, dendrites reach out, connections reform. The healing is not instant, but steady, gentle, inevitable. Renewal hides within silence. Pause here and let this soothe you. Injury is not the end of the tapestry. It is only a tear, a space for new weaving. Circuits may fray, but threads can rejoin. The fabric of your mind holds resilience deeper than you know. Think of a person learning to walk again after accident. At first, steps are clumsy, balance weak. Muscles and brain alike are unsure. But with repetition, the circuits strengthen. Each practice sends healing currents through neurons, laying down new patterns. Eventually, the steps grow smoother, the body remembers. What seemed lost returns, carried by the patient weaving of new threads. Breathe slowly. Healing is not only physical, it is also emotional, mental. Memories may slip after trauma, but others take their place. Skills may falter, but new ones may emerge. Even personality can shift, not as erasure, but as adaptation. The healing currents carve not the same river as before, but a new one, different yet whole. Now imagine electricity flickering in a broken grid. Some lights go dark, but power reroutes. Wires reconnect, neighborhoods glow again. Your brain is that grid. When injury cuts power to one region, other circuits step forward. They may never replace the lost lights exactly, but they can bring brightness in new forms. The city still lives. The mind still glows. Pause once more. Feel the resilience in this image. You are not fragile glass, shattered once and gone. You are river, meadow, city, always reshaping, always finding light again. Injury may alter, but it cannot silence the will of the brain to heal. Think of music therapy. A patient who cannot speak finds voice through song. Neurons in musical regions awaken, carrying language where speech circuits faltered. Healing currents flow through unexpected paths, reminding us that the brain is not rigid map, but flexible landscape. There is always more than one road. Breathe deeply. Healing is also found in patience. Just as rivers carve stones slowly, just as meadows bloom season by season, the brain needs time to rewire. Each effort, each repetition, each moment of practice sends currents flowing deeper, stronger. What feels invisible today becomes visible tomorrow. Now imagine yourself as both river and gardener. Injury may close one channel, but you guide the flow elsewhere. You water seeds of new growth. You tend blossoms of renewal. The healing currents are not only natural, but also nurtured. Every act of care, every practice, every gentle return helps the brain reweave. Pause again, and let this truth comfort you. You are never only victim of injury. You are participant in healing. The brain is not separate from you. Its currents flow with your effort, your hope, your patience. You walk alongside your own renewal. As you rest now, imagine the brain glowing like a landscape at dusk. Some areas are dim, others alight with sparks. Slowly, new pathways begin to shimmer, faint at first, then brighter. You realize you are watching healing in motion, rivers carving, meadows blooming, cities glowing once more. The silent work of neuroplasticity is always there, beneath the surface, shaping your future. Breathe gently. Healing is not returning to what was. It is becoming something new. The currents do not restore the old river, but create new channels, new patterns, new possibilities. The brain, after injury, is not broken tapestry, but renewed weaving, different but still whole. You are resting now, your breath falling into an easy rhythm, your body soft against the quiet of the night. Already, you have drifted through healing currents, felt how the brain can carve new rivers after loss, how resilience lives in every neuron. Now, you move gently into another truth. Practice itself, even without injury, transforms you. Every repeated effort is not wasted motion. Each is a step across an invisible bridge, a bridge the brain builds until what once seemed impossible becomes natural. Tonight, you will walk upon these bridges of practice and feel how skills become second nature. Close your eyes and imagine a wide river. On one side, you stand, holding a new skill you long to learn, playing a melody, speaking a new word, riding a bicycle. On the other side lies fluency, ease, mastery. At first, there is no bridge, only water, flowing strong and wide, separating you from your goal. But as you practice, plank by plank, thread by thread, your brain begins to lay down a bridge. Each repetition is another plank, another thread, another support. Slowly, the bridge extends, reaching farther, growing sturdier. With time, it carries you across without thought. Practice builds bridges in your mind. Breathe gently. Think of the first time you tried something new. Perhaps you placed your fingers on piano keys, uncertain where to press. Or you rode a bicycle, your balance wavering, each moment a struggle. At first, the bridge seemed impossible, each step shaky. But with every attempt, neurons fired along the same circuits, sparks leaping again and again. The path grew smoother, easier to follow. What once felt foreign became familiar. Soon, your body moved without effort, your brain carrying you across the bridge as if you had always known the way. Now, imagine neurons themselves as builders. Each practice is their hammer strike. They're not tied, they're beam placed. The more you repeat, the stronger the structure becomes. At first, the bridge is fragile, swaying in the wind of distraction. But practice reinforces it, layer by layer, until it stands steady, able to carry you again and again. This is why skills feel awkward at first, but graceful with time. The bridge of practice must be built before it can be crossed with ease. Pause here and let this comfort you. Struggle is not failure. It is construction. The awkwardness you feel when learning is your brain placing beams, securing supports, weaving threads into strength. Each mistake is not wasted. It is wood, rope, stone laid into place. The bridge is built from effort, not perfection. Breathe slowly. Think of a dancer practicing movements. At first, each step requires conscious thought, attention, correction. But with repetition, circuits fire more quickly. Myelin, the insulation around neurons, grows thicker. Signals travel faster. The dancer's movements become fluid, effortless, like water flowing. Practice has built not only a bridge, but a highway, carrying signals with speed and grace. Now, imagine language. At first, each foreign word feels clumsy, your tongue resisting, your mind stumbling. But as you repeat, the sounds grow familiar, the circuits stronger. Soon, the words flow naturally, as if they have always belonged to you. Practice has woven them into your tapestry, stitched them into your fire, carved them into your river. Pause once more. Feel how the brain itself rewards this repetition. Circuits that are used grow stronger, more efficient, while those left unused fade. Practice is not just about willpower. It is about biology, about tending the garden, strengthening what you water, pruning what you neglect. Now imagine yourself walking across one of these bridges. At first, each step is careful, uncertain. But as the planks strengthen, you walk more easily, until one day you cross without noticing. Driving a car, tying your shoes, typing on a keyboard. Skills, once clumsy, are now effortless, carried by bridges built long ago. Breathe deeply. Consider also how practice shapes not only physical skills, but emotional ones. Practicing patience strengthens circuits of calm. Practicing gratitude strengthens circuits of contentment. Just as repetition of worry deepens anxiety, repetition of peace deepens resilience. The bridges you build are not only to actions, but to ways of being. Think also of resilience again. A person relearning to speak after stroke must practice daily, each word repeated countless times. At first, the bridge is barely visible, but with persistence, the planks hold, the pathway strengthens, the words return. Practice is not punishment, it is healing. It is construction. It is the slow, patient weaving of ability. Pause again and let yourself rest in this truth. Practice is not endless toil. It is investment. Each moment of effort lays foundation. Each repetition builds strength. The bridge may seem invisible, but one day, you find yourself crossing with ease, not remembering the struggle that built it. Now drift into a vision of countless bridges in your brain. Some lead to music, some to language, some to movement, some to kindness. Each one built by practice, each one strengthened by return. Your mind is not only tapestry, not only garden, not only river. It is a landscape of bridges, carrying you from clumsy beginning to graceful mastery. As you rest deeper, imagine yourself as the builder. Each choice you make, to practice or not, is a choice of construction. With patience, you can build bridges to anywhere. The only question is which paths you wish to cross. You are resting now, your breath slow and even, your body sinking deeper into the hush of night. Already you have walked upon bridges of practice, felt how repetition turns effort into ease, how circuits become sturdy until skill is second nature. Now, as you drift further inward, another vision rises before you. Not bridges, not rivers, but a mosaic. Tonight, you will enter the mosaic of memory, countless fragments, glowing like shards of glass, arranged and rearranged to form the picture of your past. Close your eyes and imagine a hall lined with walls of light. On each wall are mosaics, tiny pieces of color, shining with moments of your life. Some pieces are vivid, bright as gemstones. Your first steps, your first love, a word that changed everything. Others are faint, pale, crumbling at the edges, nearly forgotten. Yet together, they form the story of who you are. This is memory, not a perfect photograph, but a mosaic assembled from fragments. Shifting with each recollection, breathe gently. Memory is not storage like a shelf of books, fixed and untouched. It is living art. Each time you remember, your brain pulls together pieces from different regions. The hippocampus gathers context. The amygdala brings emotion. The cortex supplies detail. Like a craftsman choosing tiles, your brain reassembles the mosaic anew each time. And because the act of remembering itself is creative, the picture may change, colors deepen, shapes shift, pieces fade or brighten. Memory is never static. It is a mosaic reshaped in the moment of recall. Think of your earliest memory. Perhaps it comes in fragments, a smell, a sound, a flash of color. It may not be whole, but even a fragment glows like a shard of glass. When you recall it, you are not pulling a film from storage. You are reassembling pieces, weaving fragments together into a story. The memory feels continuous, but it is built anew. Pause here and let this soften you. It means that forgetting is not always failure. It is simply the absence of certain fragments, tiles that have slipped away. And it means that remembering is not always accuracy, but creativity, your mind filling gaps with imagination, reshaping the mosaic as best it can. Now imagine neurons as artists, passing fragments between them. Sparks leap across synapses, carrying color, shape, sound, emotion. Slowly, the pieces gather, locking into place. A face appears, a word returns, an entire scene glows in your mind's eye. The mosaic is alive with energy, built from countless sparks aligning in harmony. Breathe slowly. Think of a familiar place, your home. When you recall it, one fragment is the shape of the door, another the smell of the kitchen, another the warmth of light through windows. Separate fragments, stored in separate circuits, yet reassembled into a whole. Your mosaic is not stored in one place. It is scattered across your brain, stitched together by threads of fire each time you recall it. Now imagine sleep. At night, while you rest, your brain replays the day. Fragments are sorted, strengthened, placed into mosaics of long-term memory. What matters is kept, what does not fades. This is why dreams often feel like mosaics too. Fragments reshaped into strange patterns. Colors rearranged into surreal designs. Sleep is the artist's studio, where fragments are tested, tiles polished, pictures reshaped. Pause once more. Let this bring comfort, even when you forget, even when memories blur. The mosaic is not gone. It has only shifted, faded in places, but its pattern remains within you. The essence is still part of your story, even if the details slip away. Think also of emotion. A joyful memory glows brighter because the amygdala has colored its tiles with warmth. A painful memory may burn too vividly, refusing to fade. Emotion is the dye of the mosaic, staining pieces with intensity. This is why certain moments return again and again. Your brain has painted them in bold hues. Breathe deeply. Consider how memory is also shared. When you tell someone a story, you reshape the mosaic with words. They, in turn, imagine their own picture, building fragments from your voice. Memory is not only personal, but communal. Each time you share, you weave your mosaic into another's. Now drift into a vision of aging. Some tiles begin to fade, the edges of mosaics blur, but new fragments can still be placed, new colors added. Even as some memories slip, others form, and the picture continues to evolve. The mosaic is never finished, never fully complete. It is always in progress, always being shaped by today, by tomorrow, by every thought and experience. Pause here and let the comfort settle in you. You are not the sum of perfect recollections. You are the living mosaic itself, fragments shining, some vivid, some faint, together forming a story no one else holds. The beauty of memory is not in its accuracy, but in its depth, in the way it reshapes, renews, and reflects your journey as you rest now. Imagine walking through your inner hall of mosaics. You pass walls glowing with childhood, others shimmering with recent days. Some mosaics are whole, others missing pieces. Yet together they surround you in light, reminders that your brain has carried every moment, in some form, into the present. You are a gallery of mosaics, ever changing, ever living. Breathe gently. Memory is not a prison of the past. It is the fabric that gives shape to the present. It guides you, teaches you, sustains you. And though it shifts, though fragments fade, the mosaic remains your companion. Luminous in silence, reshaped each time you look. You are resting now, your body softened by the weight of night, your breath long and slow. Already you have wandered through memory's mosaic, seen how fragments of past assemble into shimmering pictures. But as you drift deeper into the silence of your own mind, you sense another truth. Memory is never neutral. It is painted, stained, and colored by feeling. Tonight, you will drift into the interplay of shadows and light, and discover how emotion itself reshapes the brain, weaving new threads, carving new paths, leaving circuits altered by every tear, every laugh. Every sigh. Close your eyes and imagine your brain as a canvas. On it, sparks of thought are strokes of paint. Some are bright with joy, glowing gold and silver. Others are heavy with sorrow, painted in shades of indigo and grey. Anger burns in reds, calm in pale blues. No stroke is separate. All blend into one canvas, forming the picture of your inner world. This is plasticity in emotion, the way your brain's circuits bend to the hues you live most often. Breathe gently. Think of happiness. When joy fills you, your brain lights up like dawn spreading across hills. Circuits in the reward system spark. Dopamine flows like golden light, reinforcing pathways that bring pleasure. The more you return to joy through gratitude, kindness, wonder, the stronger those circuits grow, the easier they are to revisit. Joy is not accident. It is practice. It is plasticity. It is light weaving brighter threads into your tapestry. Now think of sorrow. When grief settles, circuits in the amygdala and hippocampus become heavy, repeating patterns of loss. These pathways, too, strengthen with repetition. Sadness is not weakness, but it leaves marks, teaching your brain to expect shadows. Yet even here, plasticity offers freedom. With time, with compassion, with new experience, other circuits awaken. New light enters the canvas. The shadows remain, but softened, integrated into the whole. Pause here and let this truth comfort you. Emotion is not permanent. The circuits of feeling, like those of memory or skill, are flexible. With repetition, sadness may deepen. With repetition, joy may brighten. With mindfulness, awareness, choice, you can guide which hues to reinforce, which to let fade. You are not prisoner of emotion. You are artist of your own canvas. Now imagine anger. Its sparks flare quickly, circuits firing in survival patterns. At first, anger may feel uncontrollable, but repetition makes it easier to return to. Pathways rehearsed to often become grooves too deep. Yet, through practice, new responses can be learned. Calm can be strengthened like a muscle, compassion trained like a reflex. Emotional plasticity is this. Every feeling reshapes you, but you can also reshape which feelings dominate. Breathe slowly. Consider fear. It wires circuits in the amygdala, teaching the brain to avoid danger. Too much repetition of fear carves deep grooves, leaving anxiety where calm might have been. Yet plasticity also allows therapy, practice, and courage to rewire those grooves, laying new paths of safety, strengthening circuits of peace. Even fear can be reshaped into resilience. Now drift into a vision of light and shadow, dancing. Imagine your brain as a cathedral, neurons like stained glass windows. Emotion is the sunlight streaming through. Joy turns the glass golden, sorrow paints it blue, anger burns it red, calm makes it clear and gentle. The cathedral is always the same, yet its colors change with light. Plasticity is the window's ability to hold all hues and to reshape its patterns with every dawn. Pause once more. Let this soothe you. Your emotions are not flaws. They are signals, colors, shades in your mosaic. Plasticity means they can soften, change, blend. You are not trapped in any single hue. You are the whole canvas, capable of both shadow and light. Think of meditation. With stillness, circuits of worry grow quiet, circuits of attention grow strong. Emotions shift as the brain reshapes. Think of gratitude. Each practice strengthens circuits of joy until small moments shine more brightly. Think of compassion. Repeated kindness rewires circuits of empathy, allowing you to feel connected more deeply. These are choices of emotion, practiced into plasticity, shadow softened into light. Breathe deeply. Imagine now someone carrying deep trauma. Their circuits of fear fire too quickly, shadows too heavy. But through therapy, through safe experience, through gentle repetition, healing occurs. New connections form. Safety returns. The shadows remain, but light begins to filter through. Plasticity is healing even in emotion. As you rest now, imagine yourself painting your own canvas. Each day, each thought, each reaction is a brushstroke. Shadows may fall, but light can always return. The painting is never finished. It is alive, changing, rewoven by the plasticity of your feelings. Pause gently. Let this settle in you. You are not defined by yesterday's shadows. You are not bound by past emotions. The circuits of sorrow can fade. The circuits of joy can strengthen. Plasticity means your emotional world is fluid, alive, always open to change. You are both canvas and painter, both light and shadow, both weaving and weaver. You are resting now, your breath slow and rhythmic, your body softened into the stillness of night. Already you have wandered through shadows and light, seen how emotions sculpt the brain, how joy and sorrow paint circuits with their colors. But tonight, another truth rises. Your brain is not alone. It does not with only thought and feeling. It sings through your body, shaping each step, each gesture, each movement into rhythm. Together, brain and body compose a music, a harmony that carries you through life. Tonight, you will drift into this music of movement and listen as body and brain play in perfect union. Close your eyes and imagine a vast orchestra. Strings hum, winds whisper, percussion keeps time. Each instrument has its place, its role, its rhythm. Your body is that orchestra, and your brain is its conductor. With every step you take, every hand you raise, every breath you draw, signals pass like notes through the score, creating music invisible yet unbroken. Breathe gently. Think of walking. A simple act, yet beneath it lies a symphony of circuits. Your brain sends signals down your spinal cord, across nerves, into muscles. Your muscles respond, contracting and releasing in precise patterns. Feedback flows back to the brain, adjusting, correcting, refining. Each step is not automatic alone, but choreographed, a dance of neurons and fibers, like violins and drums in perfect rhythm. Now think of learning to walk as a child. At first, the orchestra is clumsy, instruments out of tune. The child wobbles, falls, rises again. But with practice, with repetition, circuits strengthen, signals flow more smoothly. Soon, walking becomes effortless, no longer a conscious act, but music that plays without command. This is neuroplasticity in motion, practice building harmony, body and brain learning to play together. Pause here and let this soothe you. Movement is not chaos. It is rhythm. It is song. Your body is not burden to the brain, nor brain tyrant to the body. They are partners, players in harmony, weaving music with every motion. Breathe slowly. Imagine now the act of dancing. Your feet move, your arms sway, your head turns to rhythm. Each movement is signal and response, neuron and muscle, spark and fiber. The brain's motor cortex lights like conductor's baton, guiding the flow. Basal ganglia keep tempo, cerebellum refines the steps. The music is not in the room. It is in you. Your brain and body create it together. Think of playing an instrument. A pianist's fingers move across keys, each note a spark firing down pathways into motion. Feedback from muscles returns, correcting, refining, until the music flows naturally. The body is not separate from the brain's learning. It is co-creator. Without the feedback of fingers, ears, breath, the brain cannot master the song. Movement itself is teacher, shaping circuits, deepening skill. Pause once more. Feel the truth of this. Practice is not only repetition in the mind, but repetition in the body. The body teaches the brain as much as the brain teaches the body. Neuroplasticity is a duet, not a solo. Now imagine sports. A runner feels rhythm in stride, breath in time with heartbeat. Circuits of coordination strengthen, muscles adapt, movement becomes efficient. Or imagine writing. At first, the letters are awkward, each line a struggle. But practice weaves brain and hand into harmony until writing flows like melody. Every skill, physical or mental, is music between body and brain. Breathe deeply. Consider also healing again. When injury disrupts movement, therapy replays the music slowly. Muscles practice, circuits relearn, signals find new routes. Step by step, note by note, the symphony returns. It may not sound the same, but it is still music, still harmony, still life. Now drift into a vision of stillness. Even when you lie quiet, body unmoving, The orchestra hums beneath the surface. Heart beats steady percussion, lungs rise and fall like soft bass. Neurons fire like strings vibrating faintly. The music of movement does not stop. It continues, even in rest, keeping you alive, keeping rhythm through night. Pause again. Let this bring peace. You are music even now, even in silence, even in stillness. Your body plays, your brain conducts. Harmony continues without effort. Now imagine moments of flow, when body and brain align so deeply that time fades. A dancer lost in motion, an athlete lost in stride, a writer lost in words. In these moments, circuits fire in synchrony. Body moves without conscious command. Music plays without conductor. Flow is harmony at its highest. Brain and body one instrument, playing as if guided by something greater than thought. Breathe gently. You too have felt this moment, when action came effortlessly, when body knew what to do before mind thought. These are gifts of practice, of neuroplasticity, of music built over time. As you rest now, imagine yourself as both orchestra and conductor, both dancer and dance. Each step you take tomorrow, each gesture, each breath will be part of the music. You may not hear it, but it plays always, softly, faithfully, carrying you forward. Pause softly and let this truth settle in you. Your brain and body are not separate. They are harmony, melody, and rhythm, woven together in every moment. You are music living itself. You are resting now, your body loose and heavy against the cradle of night. Your breath drifting slow and deep, like waves folding gently upon a quiet shore. Already you have listened to the music of movement, felt how every step, every gesture is a harmony between body and brain. But tonight you turn inward, not toward action, but toward stillness. For within silence, too, the brain within meditation, the circuits shift, the tapestry strengthens, the garden grows. Stillness is not absence. Stillness is change. Close your eyes and imagine sitting beside a lake at dawn. The water is still, a perfect mirror. Yet beneath the surface, fish swim, currents flow, reeds sway. On the surface, there is calm. Beneath, life continues, adapting, reshaping. Meditation is this lake. On the outside, you appear still, your breath soft, your body unmoving. But within, the brain is alive, circuits lighting gently, weaving new connections of awareness and peace. Breathe gently. Think of your usual mind, filled with chatter. Thoughts tumble one over another like stones in a rushing stream. Memories, worries, plans, echoes. The brain leaps from one circuit to the next, strengthening patterns of distraction. But when you meditate, when you pause, when you breathe with awareness, the stream slows. Stones settle, the current clears. Circuits of attention strengthen, while circuits of restlessness weaken. Meditation is practice in rewiring, one breath at a time. Now imagine neurons as lanterns in the dark. Usually, they flicker chaotically, scattered lights flashing in every direction. But as you sit in stillness, the lanterns begin to align. Their glow synchronizes, steady and calm. The brain shifts from noise to rhythm, from chaos to harmony. The circuits of focus brighten, the circuits of worry fade into shadow. Stillness becomes light. Pause here and let this comfort you. Meditation is not about emptying the mind. It is about teaching the mind to rest, to return, to soften. Each time you notice you're wandering and gently bring it back to breath, You lay another thread of attention. Repetition strengthens it until focus becomes easier, peace more natural. Breathe slowly. Consider stress. When life feels heavy, the amygdala, the brain's alarm bell, fires too often, circuits of fear growing too strong. But meditation soothes the amygdala, quiets its bells. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, the region of calm reasoning, strengthens. With each breath of mindfulness, the balance shifts. Fear loses its grip, calm gains its thread. Neuroplasticity at work in silence. Now imagine yourself sitting in meditation. Your breath rises and falls like ocean waves. Thoughts come, but you watch them pass, like clouds across sky. Each return to breath is a practice, each letting go a rewiring. The brain learns not to cling, not to spiral, but to rest. Circuits of presence grow thicker, stronger, more reliable. Stillness itself becomes change. Pause once more. Let this truth soothe you. Meditation is not escape. It is training. Just as lifting a weight builds muscle, returning to breath builds circuits. The brain reshapes, the mind calms, the body heals, all through stillness. Think also of compassion, meditation. When you send kindness to others in thought, circuits of empathy strengthen, the insular and anterior cingulate cortex glowing brighter. Repeated, these pathways grow strong until compassion becomes reflex, until kindness becomes natural. Stillness does not only bring peace, it brings connection. Breathe deeply. Even in age, meditation reshapes the brain. Studies show thicker cortex in long-time practitioners, stronger networks of attention, calmer circuits of stress. The garden of synapses blooms even in stillness. The tapestry gains new threads even in silence. Now drift into a vision. Imagine your mind as a temple of light. Each breath is a candle lit, each moment of awareness a bell rung softly. Slowly, the temple fills with glow, circuits of calm weaving across neurons like golden silk. Outside, the world may rage. Inside, the temple holds peace. Meditation is this temple, built within your own brain, always waiting. Pause again. Let yourself rest in this. Stillness is not wasted time. It is practice in becoming. Each moment of silence lays threads, strengthens circuits, heals pathways. You may not see the change at once, but like water carving stone, meditation reshapes with patience. As you rest now, imagine your thoughts as stars scattered across the night sky. Meditation does not extinguish them, but arranges them into constellations. The sky grows clearer, the stars more ordered, the patterns more beautiful. The mind does not empty. It shines. Breathe gently. Your brain is not fixed in restlessness. It can learn peace. It can weave circuits of calm as surely as circuits of fear. Stillness is not void, but power, the quiet power of rewiring. You are resting now, your breath gentle as evening wind, your body softened by the stillness of night. Already, you have sat in the temple of meditation, watched stillness itself weave new threads, felt silence become change. But now you travel further back to the earliest days, when your mind was new, soft, open to everything. Tonight, you will wander through the windows of childhood, those sensitive periods when the brain is most ready to grow, when every sound, every sight, every touch leaves deep and lasting threads. Close your eyes and imagine a field of clay at dawn. The sun has just risen, and the clay is soft, moist, pliable. Any mark leaves an impression. Any shape holds. This is the child's brain, not yet hardened, not yet fixed, but open, ready, endlessly malleable. Neuroplasticity in childhood is not gentle weaving alone. It is wild abundance, an explosion of synapses, circuits branching in every direction, 1,000 threads sprouting each second. Breathe gently. In infancy, neurons fire at breathtaking speed. Synapses bloom like blossoms after spring rain, far more than an adult will ever keep. The baby's brain grows not by scarcity, but by excess, creating every possibility. Each face seen, each voice heard, each hand touched plant seeds in the garden. The windows of childhood are wide open, sunlight streaming in. Now imagine a toddler learning language. At first, sounds are raw, undifferentiated. But in these years, the brain's circuits are tuned like instruments, sensitive to every note. A child can hear distinctions between sounds adults cannot. This is a window, a sensitive period when language learning flows effortlessly. Circuits branching rapidly to capture rhythm and tone. Later, the window narrows, the clay firms, but in childhood, it is wide, fertile, alive. Pause here and let this soothe you. Childhood's openness is not only gift but foundation. The ease with which a child learns, the speed with which connections form, lays patterns that last across life. Yet, even as the windows narrow, the capacity to rewire never disappears. The clay hardens, but it never turns to stone. Breathe slowly. Think of vision. In the first years, the brain is sensitive to sight, building circuits that process shape, color, depth. If the eyes do not see clearly, if one eye is blocked, the circuits weaken, the window fades. But with correction during the window, the brain recovers fully, sight flourishing. Sensitive periods are not infinite. They are openings, moments when experience has extraordinary power to sculpt. Now drift into memory of play. A child stacking blocks, running barefoot, laughing at shadows. Each act is not random. It is weaving circuits of coordination, creativity, social connection. Play is not only joy but construction, shaping the brain in ways unseen. These are windows to moments when curiosity and exploration sculpt capacities for problem solving, for resilience, for imagination. Pause once more. Let this truth settle. Every experience in childhood leaves threads. Words spoken with kindness, touches of love, laughter shared, these strengthen circuits of safety and trust. Words spoken with harshness, neglect of touch, absence of warmth, these strengthen circuits of fear and withdrawal. The clay does not choose its marks. It simply holds them. Breathe deeply. Yet remember also, plasticity remains. Marks may last, but new impressions can always be made. The clay hardens, but never completely. Healing, growth, renewal are always possible, even if the windows of childhood are unique in their openness. Now imagine childhood as a series of dawnlit windows in a house. One window opens for language, another for vision, another for social connection, another for movement. Each opens wide for a season, sunlight streaming in, then slowly closes. But though each window closes partly, light still enters through other cracks, other openings. Sensitive periods give advantage, not monopoly. Learning remains possible always. Pause here and feel comfort. If a window seemed missed, if childhood carried shadows, it is not the end. Other windows remain. Other doors open. The house of your brain is never dark, never sealed. It is full of light, shifting, adapting, finding new ways in. Now drift into a vision of a child listening to music. The notes enter like seeds, planting circuits of rhythm, melody, emotion. In this sensitive period, music leaves deep roots, shaping memory, shaping feeling. Later in life, those roots nourish joy, comfort, connection. Childhood windows are not simply about skill. They are about depth, about roots that feed the soul. Breathe gently. Consider also how childhood shapes empathy. A child, surrounded by care, learns circuits of trust. A child who comforts another strengthens circuits of compassion. These windows with social fabric, the ability to connect, to love, to share. They do not determine destiny, but they tilt the tapestry towards certain hues, certain harmonies. As you rest now, imagine walking through your own windows. You may not remember every moment, but the marks remain. The sound of your mother's voice, the light of early mornings, the comfort of touch, all woven into your circuits, still glowing softly in your tapestry. Childhood's windows are not only past, they are alive in you still, carried forward, shaping who you are. Pause softly. Let this comfort fill you. You are not frozen by your childhood, yet you are also never without it. The windows may have closed, but the light they let in remains, glowing forever in your circuits. You are both clay and stone, both child and adult, both past and becoming. You are resting now, your body heavy and quiet, your breath deepening into the rhythm of night. Already, you have walked through windows of childhood, seen how the young brain opens wide, how soft clay of early years holds every touch and sound. But now you slip further into the place where all ages return, the place of universal renewal, sleep. Tonight, you will drift into the waves of sleep and listen as your brain rewires beneath the veil of dreams. Close your eyes and imagine the ocean at night. The tide flows in and out, slow, steady, endless. Waves rise, break softly on the shore, then withdraw, only to return again. Sleep moves through your brain in the same rhythm, cycles of depth and lightness, slow waves and rapid eye movements, tides of restoration. With each wave, circuits spark, memories replay, patterns strengthen or fade. The brain is never idle. It is working silently, like the tide carving the shore. Breathe gently. In the first stage of sleep, the world begins to soften. Thoughts blur, muscles loosen, eyelids grow heavy. Neurons slow their rhythm, their chatter quiets. You hover between waking and dreaming, standing at the threshold of the sea. Then, as you drift deeper, slow wave sleep arrives, great rolling tides sweeping through your brain. These slow waves wash away clutter, clear toxins, reset circuits. They are the ocean's cleansing breath, rinsing the mind. Now imagine neurons during slow wave sleep. They fire together in great surges, then fall silent, then surge again, like waves striking the shore. This rhythm consolidates memory, stitching fragments into mosaics, strengthening the bridges built by practice. What you studied today, what you repeated, is replayed silently in these waves, laid down more firmly. Without sleep, the bridge weakens. With sleep, the bridge holds. Pause here and let this comfort you. Even as you rest, even as you dream, your brain is at work. It is gardener pruning, river flowing, builder laying beams. You need not try. The loom weaves by itself. Breathe slowly. After slow waves come REM, rapid eye movement sleep. when your brain glows with activity. Here, circuits fire wildly, dreams rise, vivid and strange. The hippocampus replays memories, the cortex reshapes them, emotion colors them, imagination stitches them into new forms. Dreams are mosaics of the day, rearranged into patterns that may confuse you on waking, but which serve the brain's rewiring. REM is not random. It is integration, creativity, the tapestry gaining depth. Now imagine yourself dreaming. You stand in a forest where paths shift with each step, or float through a city of light, or speak to voices long gone. The details may be strange, but the purpose is clear. Your brain is rehearsing, blending, reshaping. Fragments of memory, pieces of feeling, sparks of imagination, all woven together. Neuroplasticity does not sleep. It dreams. Pause once more. Feel the beauty of this. You are not only shaped by waking effort, but by sleeping silence. What you practice by day is strengthened by night. What you worry by day is softened or sharpened by dreams. What you experience today becomes tomorrow's circuit through sleep's rewiring. Think of learning again. A student studies, then sleeps. In the morning, the memory is stronger. Or think of healing. Someone practices walking after injury, then rests. During sleep, the brain replays, strengthens, builds. By morning, the steps are steadier. Sleep is the silent partner of practice, the unseen teacher of learning. Breathe deeply. Sleep also cleans. As neurons rest, glial cells sweep through, clearing waste, washing away toxins. It is like night custodians tending the temple, polishing floors, clearing debris, leaving the mind fresh for dawn. Without this cleansing, fog gathers. With it, clarity returns. Now drift into a vision of the night sky. Stars glitter, constellations shift, the Milky Way stretches in a soft band. This too is sleep, a sky of sparks, some glowing brighter, some fading, some rearranged. Each night, the sky of your brain is redrawn, circuits reshaped beneath the stars. Pause again. Let this soothe you. Sleep is not weakness. It is strength. It is not lost time. It is essential work. Your brain does not pause in slumber. It becomes most alive, most adaptive, most plastic in these waves of rest. As you rest now, imagine yourself floating on the ocean of sleep. Waves lift you, lower you, carry you deeper. In each wave, memories are sorted, skills rehearsed, emotions softened. The tide works silently, but its imprint is lasting. Breathe gently. You are being rewired even now. Circuits replay, sparks leap, fragments merge. Sleep is sculptor, dream is brush, night is canvas. The work is quiet, but the change is profound. You are resting now, your breath soft and slow, your body cradled by the quiet of night. Already you have floated on the waves of sleep, felt how the tides of night rewire the day, how dreams polish and renew. But now you drift into another truth, one that feels heavier, yet equally filled with light. The brain is not only shaped by practice or play, it is also shaped by hardship. Tonight, you will enter the realm of resilience and discover how the mind adapts through adversity, finding strength in struggle, weaving new patterns in the face of storms. Close your eyes and imagine a forest after fire. The trees are blackened, the soil scorched. At first, it looks like only loss remains. But wait and watch. Beneath the ash, green shoots rise. Seeds open that never would without fire's heat. Flowers bloom in colors unseen before. The forest is not what it was, but it is alive, transformed by adversity. Your brain too, when tested by hardship, does not only break. It finds ways to grow, to adapt, to become something new. Breathe gently. Think of loss. Grief etches deep grooves, circuits of sorrow repeating again and again. But over time, other pathways awaken. The brain learns to weave memory into acceptance, sadness into meaning. The pain does not vanish, but it becomes integrated, a thread in the larger tapestry. The brain grows not by forgetting suffering, but by reshaping around it, finding strength in new connections. Now imagine someone who suffers physical injury. A stroke silences speech, or movement falters. At first, the circuits seem ruined, the ability gone. But the brain does not surrender. Other regions awaken, learning new roles, building new pathways. Words return, steps grow steadier. It is not the same as before, but it is recovery, resilience, the brain carving new trails through stone. Rivers finding paths around boulders. Pause here and let this soothe you. Adversity is not the end. It is the beginning of transformation. The circuits may ache, the tapestry may tear, but the loom does not stop. Neuroplasticity is not fragile. It is strong, especially when tested. Breathe slowly. Consider emotional hardship. Trauma may carve deep pathways of fear, anxiety. Yet even here, healing is possible. Through therapy, through safety, through compassion, new connections form. The amygdala grows quieter, the prefrontal cortex stronger. Fear does not vanish entirely, but it is balanced, softened, reshaped. The resilient mind does not erase scars. It learns to carry them as part of its strength. Now imagine your brain as a bridge struck by storm. Winds howl, waves crash, stones crack. Yet beneath, engineers rebuild. Supports are reinforced, new beams laid, stronger than before. Adversity may shake the bridge, but in repair it becomes sturdier. Your brain, tested by hardship, learns new strategies, builds stronger supports, leaves you not only surviving, but more capable for the future. Pause once more. Feel the comfort of this. Struggle is not meaningless. Every challenge sends currents through your neurons, forcing adaptation, building strength. Just as muscles grow stronger when stressed, circuits grow more resilient when tested. Think also of community. Resilience is not only personal, but shared. When you lean on others, when empathy flows between minds, the brain weaves connections of trust and safety. Oxytocin flows, calming circuits of fear, strengthening circuits of belonging. The resilient mind is not solitary. It is supported, rewoven in the embrace of others. Breathe deeply. Remember also that resilience is not denial. It does not mean pretending pain does not exist. It means allowing pain to carve its grooves, but then weaving around them, finding new harmonies, creating beauty even from shadow. Plasticity allows sorrow to coexist with joy, loss with meaning, hardship with growth. Now drift into a vision of mountains. Snow falls, storms strike, rocks erode. Yet the mountains stand, reshaped by time, valleys deepened, peaks sharpened. They are not untouched by adversity. They are defined by it. Your brain too is mountain enduring, adapting, carved into beauty by the very storms that seemed to scar it. Pause again and let this truth settle. You are more than your hardship. You are the strength that grew from it, the circuits that rewired through it, the resilience that emerged because of it. The storms did not destroy you. They helped weave you as you rest now. Imagine the threads of your brain glowing softly. Some are frayed, marked by hardship. Others are new, strong, woven from struggle. Together, they form a tapestry deeper, richer, more complex than before. Resilience is not erasing adversity. It is integrating it into the beauty of your design. Breathe gently. The resilient mind is alive in you. Each hardship you have faced has left marks, but also threads of strength. Your circuits are not fragile. They are adaptable, flexible, unyielding in their will to rewire. You are living proof of resilience. You are resting now, your body softened by the quiet weight of night, your breath falling into a rhythm that feels like a lullaby. Already, you have seen how resilience emerges through adversity, how storms carve valleys of strength into the mind. But tonight, you drift into another truth. Your brain does not exist alone. It is part of a greater weaving, a vast network that stretches across humanity. Tonight, you will walk into the collective brain and see how learning together rewires not only you, but the world itself. Close your eyes and imagine a city at night. From above, lights glow in clusters, streets connect them, rivers of brightness flow through neighborhoods. Each light is a person, each street a thread of connection. Alone, one bulb flickers softly. Together, they illuminate the entire city. Humanity's minds are like this, countless neurons in a vast collective brain, firing in dialogue, weaving circuits through conversation, teaching, listening, sharing. Breathe gently. Think of the first humans gathered around fire. Stories were told, lessons passed, warnings shared. A child learned from an elder, a hunter from a peer. No brain was isolated. Each mind lit another, sparks leaping across the space between them, as surely as neurons fire across synapses. Culture itself is a kind of neuroplasticity, the collective rewiring of many brains at once. Now imagine classrooms, workshops, conversations between friends. One person speaks, another listens. Circuits in one brain spark, mirrored by circuits in another. Mirror neurons reflect gestures, expressions, emotions. Understanding leaps across the gap. It is as if two brains share a bridge, signals flowing both ways. Learning is never solitary. It is always relational. Pause here and let this soothe you. When you feel alone in learning, remember that your brain was built for connection. Its deepest strength emerges when joined with others. You learn faster, remember longer, grow stronger when knowledge is shared. Breathe slowly. Consider language. Alone, your brain can think, but words allow sharing. With language, your inner tapestry becomes thread in another's. Stories pass across generations, weaving circuits of memory that outlive individuals. Humanity's greatest strength is not one brain, but many, rewiring together. Now imagine science. One researcher discovers, another builds, another refines. Circuits spread across thousands of minds, linked through books, voices, technology. Each brain alone is limited, but together they create knowledge no single mind could hold. The collective brain is a mosaic of humanity's curiosity, ever expanding. Pause once more. Feel the beauty of this. You are not only learner, you are teacher too. Every story you share, every kindness you give, Every insight you offer lays threads in another's tapestry. Their brain reshapes because of you, just as yours reshapes because of them. The collective brain is not distant. It is alive in every conversation. Now drift into a vision of networks. Imagine neurons glowing across a vast expanse, not within a single skull, but across the globe. Each human is a neuron, each connection a synapse, friendship, conversation, teaching, listening. Sparks leap across cultures, across time zones, across centuries. Ideas spread like fireflies, glowing from one to another, until the whole world shimmers. Breathe deeply. The collective brain holds resilience too. When one community suffers, others step forward. When knowledge is lost in one place, it is preserved in another. Just as neurons protect function by redistributing roles, humanity as a whole survives by sharing, by weaving circuits that cross borders. Think also of empathy. When you see someone's joy, your brain mirrors it. When you hear someone's pain, your circuits respond. This mirroring is the foundation of compassion, the reason we can understand each other. It is the emotional thread that binds the collective brain. Pause again. Let yourself feel this comfort. You are never fully alone. Even in silence, the words, ideas, and emotions of others live in your circuits. Their voices echo in your thoughts. Their stories shape your choices. Their presence rewires your mind. You are individual and collective both. Now imagine technology. The internet hums like a nervous system, signals flashing across cables, ideas shared in an instant. Humanity's collective brain grows denser, faster, more connected than ever before. But even here, the pattern is the same. Sparks leap between individuals, weaving circuits into networks. The collective grows as each mind contributes. As you rest now, imagine yourself as a single light in the great city of night. Around you, thousands of other lights glow. Roads of thought, bridges of empathy, rivers of knowledge connect you all. You are neuron and city, individual and whole. Together, you weave the collective brain. Breathe gently. The resilience of humanity is this: no brain learns alone. We adapt together, grow together, rewire together. Plasticity is not only inside skulls. It flows across society, across culture, across generations. You are part of something vast, something luminous. You are resting now, your breath soft as drifting clouds, your body wrapped in the stillness of night. Already, you have wandered through the collective brain, seen sparks leap across humanity, felt the tapestry woven not only in you, but between you and others. And now, you drift toward the final vision, the deepest truth. Your brain is never still. It is not stone, not statue, not frozen in place. It is river, flowing, branching, reshaping, always alive. Tonight, you will stand at the edge of this river and listen as it carries you onward. Close your eyes and imagine water flowing through mountains. At first, it trickles, then gathers, then surges, carving valleys, shaping cliffs, weaving forests into life. The river never stops. It bends around rocks, splits into streams, rejoins in currents. Even when blocked, it finds another way. Your brain is this river. Every thought, every feeling, every action is water flowing. Circuits branch, merge, fade, return. Plasticity is the river's eternal motion. Breathe gently. Think back to childhood. The river was wild then, overflowing with tributaries, pouring everywhere at once. Every sound, every sight carved new streams. Then came pruning, the narrowing of channels, the deepening of certain currents. Yet even in adulthood, the river flows. Even in age, new streams can be carved, new directions found. The brain never stops moving. Now imagine memory itself as riverstones, smoothed by time. Some are bright and polished, others faded and worn. The water carries them all, reshaping, rearranging. Memories shift in the current, some sinking deep, others carried forward. Nothing remains fixed, yet nothing is fully lost. The river holds it all, in flow, in change, in continuity. Pause here and let this soothe you. You are not trapped by the past, not fixed by your mistakes. The river of your brain carries you forward, reshaping, renewing, letting go of what no longer serves, carrying forward what nourishes. You are not stagnant pond. You are living water. Breathe slowly. Consider learning. Each new skill is a tributary, a new stream feeding the river. At first, the current is shallow, uncertain. But with repetition, with practice, it deepens, becomes steady, joins the larger flow. The river expands, carrying more with ease. Now drift into a vision of resilience again. A boulder falls, blocking a channel. For a time, the water pools. Yet eventually, it finds a way around, carving new paths. The brain, after hardship, does the same. Loss does not end flow. It redirects it, reshaping channels into new strength. Pause once more. Let this truth settle. Change is not exception in your brain. It is rule. You are not meant to remain as you were. You are meant to flow, to adapt, to reshape endlessly. Now imagine yourself walking along the banks of this river. You see bends where joy carved deep channels, stretches where sorrow left shadows, tributaries where love joined, streams where fear once ran. All of them flow together now, one river carrying all your life. It is not broken by its bends, not diminished by its scars. It is beautiful because of them. Breathe deeply. The endless river is not only personal, it is collective. Humanity's knowledge, emotions, resilience all flow together, rivers merging into oceans. You are drop and river and sea all at once. Plasticity binds you to the whole. As you rest now, imagine the future. The river flows forward into valleys unseen. You cannot know its shape, but you can trust its motion. Each thought tonight, each choice tomorrow will carve its course. The brain never stands still. It becomes, always, endlessly. Pause softly and let this bring peace. You are not finished. You are not stuck. You are water flowing, reshaping, renewing. The endless river of your brain carries you forward, always alive, always becoming.